To kick things off, I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about architecture. This illustration illustrates what the Atlas Search architecture looks like today. We have, for example, a typical 3-node replica set with 1 primary and 2 secondaries. Each of these nodes runs both the MongoDB database process and the MongoT Atlas Search process. This is what makes it phenomenally easy to get started using Atlas Search. You don't have to provision any resources or make any changes to your configuration to be able to create a search index and immediately start leveraging the power of Lucene. But unfortunately, this also leads to the difficult task of sizing your workload to meet the needs of both your database and your search workloads. You might have a pretty light transactional workload, but a very heavy search need. This also can lead to resource contention in some of those situations where your database and search workloads are competing for the same resources. Inevitably, in some rare cases, it can also lead to database availability issues when Atlas Search is ever unavailable. At the end of the day, that does mean that you are unable to scale search independently of your database needs. But at MongoDB, it is our priority to be able to support all of our users' mission-critical applications, no matter what their requirements are, without compromising. And so that is why today I'm so excited to announce that we are supporting search nodes, the ability to provision secondary nodes dedicated only to running Atlas Search. So in this illustration, you still have your typical 3-node replica set with 1 primary and 2 secondaries, but now they only run the MongoDB database process. You have 3 additional secondary nodes dedicated only to running MongoT. So what this means is you can now scale your database process needs outside of what your search needs. You can keep your database replica set relatively low if you have a high read workload and just increase the number of nodes you need to support your search workload. So, pretty evidently, this leads to workload isolation, as I just mentioned. You can say goodbye to resource contention between your database and your search deployments. And naturally, with dedicated resources, you'll experience better performance at scale as your workload grows. And with that comes higher availability because MongoDB never has to compete with that pesky little MongoT process for resources. And I know a lot of you out there will appreciate this one too. You'll get faster search index builds now that you have secondaries dedicated to building search nodes. So for those customers who have highly scaled resource-constrained workloads, or if you're starting because of Atlas Search, dedicated search nodes is for you. And as of today, search nodes is available as a private preview early access feature. You can go to mongodb.com/DASAL, which is the name of our early access program. We like to call it Dazzle. Or you can scan this QR code here to get directly to that page. If you have an account team, you can also reach out to them directly to be nominated. Once you're accepted into the program, you will then be able to provision search nodes either through the Atlas UI or the API, wherever you prefer to manage your cluster. So in the API, when you turn on workload isolation today, there will be a new option for search nodes. You can choose from as few as 2 nodes up to 32. And then within the cluster tier options, you can also choose search tiers between S20 up to S60. In this example, I'm doing S40 and giving the name of my cluster as usual and hitting deploy. That's it. I have search nodes now, just as easy as it was before. So as of today, search nodes is only available on single region and AWS clusters. Support for sharded environments, multi-region, GCP, and Azure are in active development and are coming very soon. And if this is something that you have feedback for, I highly recommend that you join the early access program, because this program gives you the opportunity to influence feature design and development through regular check-ins with our product managers like myself. It also gives you access to dedicated MongoDB community forums where you'll be able to learn and start discussions with other users who are trying out the same features as you. Last but not least, Dazzle also gives you a platform to share your story, because we love to highlight our Dazzle customers on our blog and at mongodb.local events just like this one. So, if this is important to you, please, please, please go to mongodb.com/dazzle to sign up for the Search Nodes Early Access Program.